Hi, I'm Jeff with Idea Seed Marketing, and today we're going to be talking about the power of Google Plus Local. So to understand the power of Google Plus Local, we have to understand how people buy locally online. The majority of people are searching online to buy or before they buy, way in the high 90s percentage. So we've come up with an acronym. It's called the 5 Truths of Buying Local, L.O.C.A.L. So let's jump right in. The first one is a longing. When people are going to buy something, they have a longing. So it's a longing. So I'm going to say I'm going to meet a guy named Chris. Let's discuss a business proposal. Chris wants to use my services. Thank you, Chris. So he's going to get some internet marketing. So I say, hey, Chris, let's discuss a business proposal. He says, okay. So now what are we going to do? Well, we need an object. Okay, so the object is going to be, well, let's go get some coffee. Okay, sounds good. I don't want to spend a lot of money. I want this to be affordable. I don't want to spend a bunch of money closing a deal that maybe I'm only going to make $1,000. Coffee's great. I'll get a coffee. He'll get a coffee. Maybe he gets a scone. It's $10, and I have a good profit there. So let's go get some coffee. So the next question is, well, hey, what's around here? What's close? What's nearby? So what do? Well, we're standing out in front of the building. I pull out my phone, right? And I go right here on my Android. We have a Google Local button right there, an app that comes up. And of course, there's a preloaded cafe button since that's a pretty hot place people might want to go. So I hit cafes. It's right there under my Panda Express button I loaded there not too long ago. So I can see now a list of things that are nearby. So the next question I'm looking at as I'm seeing these places is I see reviews and ratings on there. Now these are Zagat ratings and reviews. Zagat has been taking over the Google reviews. They used to have stars. Now there's Zagat ratings. And so since Google is using Zagat ratings now for all of their businesses, not just restaurants, we're looking at a scale of you get a rating of 0 to 3 instead of 1 to 5 stars. It's more accurate, and they also require 10 reviews, 10 ratings before you'll actually show an actual rating number. So I'm scrolling down the list and I'm looking for how many people have reviewed it, right? Because I want to know, I want a good sample. I want to know if it's accurate. Because if I have one review, maybe it's the guy that owns the place. 2 reviews, even 3 reviews. Maybe it's the guy, his wife, and his cousin. I don't know. I don't really trust that. I want to see 3, 4, 5, 10 or more reviews, really, frankly. So if I go here, there's Cafe Delicious, 6 reviews, but I don't get a rating. Boba Cafe, 5 reviews, I don't get a rating. Here's an interesting one. Starbucks in Roseville Square, 5 reviews and no rating. Now, check this out. I've got a little coffee shop down the street, local. They only have one location, Bloom Coffee and Tea, happens to be one of my favorites. 19 reviews, and they're rated pretty good, but we're going to talk about that in a second. So here I have Starbucks, 5 reviews. They're obviously not optimizing their Google Places, Google Local. But here, this Bloom Coffee and Tea, they're working on it. So the last thing is it liked? Is it the L? Is it liked? Do people like it? Okay, so maybe you have 19 reviews, but you have, in fact, here's one right here. I've got 15 reviews for Mimi's Cafe, which, by the way, is a French place. It's not actually what you would think like a coffee shop. And they have a 14 out of 30 rating. I'm not going there. They have 15 reviews, though. Okay, and then I even have a Pacific Street Cafe. They've got 17 reviews, but there are 22 out of 30. And I'm thinking, maybe not. Here's Bloom Coffee and Tea, 19 reviews, and a high rating of 25. That's 25 out of 30 possible. So that's probably where I'm going to end up going. Now, before I told you that there was a shift in dialogue. Now, this is what's really important. So the situation is, at first, the buyer is making the decision. Okay, so you have a longing, I want to do something, then I have an object. Okay, how can I accomplish that goal? An objective or an object. In this case, it's an object. It's coffee. Let's get coffee. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Now all of a sudden I start asking questions. So at first the buyer makes a decision. After that, they begin asking questions. What's nearby? Have enough people rated it? Do people like it? Right? Those are questions. It's very expensive and difficult to control what the buyer is thinking. That's why radio advertisements and television advertisements and these things like this, they're so expensive. It's cost effective and simple to provide them what they need once they've already made their decision. That's exactly what Google Places does. And so that's the power of Google Plus Local. And so thank you so much for listening. Again, this is Jeff with Idea Seed Marketing, and stay tuned for our next video, the 8 C's of Google Plus Local Optimization.